Third time's a charm, I hope. Some days, I love technology, and man, sometimes technology can be a pain in the rear. But I'm so grateful. Looks like the camera's working again, it looks like, and it looks like we're live. We are quite a bit late. Nonetheless, the show must go on, as they say. Welcome. We'll give people a few minutes to join me. We're getting a little bit of a late start. Some technical issues here at my house. I guess it was me. Blurry screen, stop and go. Looks like we've got a viewer here now. So, as we always do with the work that we do, this is a perfect opportunity to take a breath. When things don't go your way, it's a perfect opportunity to take a breath. Who's with me right now? Go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know you're here in the chat box. Welcome to a Thursday live session with me. My name is Lori Mage, and I am a life and leadership coach. And the purpose of all of these Facebook Lives that I do, all around that I do, are really to inspire and support you in living and leading your most authentic, most awesome, kick-ass life. And Thursdays, I go live at a specific time to really try to inspire and support you in being and becoming your best self. And on these Thursdays, I share tools, tips, and ideas that work with me and work with my clients to help them improve the quality of their lives, whatever changes they're trying to make in their lives, whatever changes I'm trying to make in my life. I share tools and tips and ideas here to help you do that. So if you're here right now, if you could do me a favor, and one, I'd love to see you in the chat box just to know that this is in fact working. We're getting a late start. The technology is kind of iffy today. Hopefully you can see me and hear me okay. If you can, please leave a comment below. I'm going to check that here in just a second. And the other thing is, it'd be really helpful for me if you're willing to just give a like or a heart or something to let me know that you're here. And also that helps spread this video. That's kind of like how the YouTube algorithm works, is that when people are viewing and people are commenting and they're leaving little emojis, it helps get the video out to a broader audience. And it's my hope that these ideas will truly help people in their lives. So you can help me get the message out by doing that. Rosie, hey, way to hang in there and be tenacious today. I know we had some technical difficulties getting going, so I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. For anyone joining a little bit late, I'm late too. We had some technical difficulties. We're actually just getting started. I'll do my best to give you all of the information before 1 o'clock, because we start at 12:30, we end at 1 o'clock. Today specifically, I was hoping to leave the last 10 minutes to be able to engage with you. And what I asked for earlier this week in some of the Facebook posts is for you to be thinking about questions that you use with yourself to help you kind of get unstuck. You know how sometimes we can get stuck in a rut where we're kind of feeling down, we're feeling overwhelmed, or we're feeling stressed out. And oftentimes there's a question we can use for ourselves to help us kind of take our power back and get back on track with living and leading our best lives and participating in life in a powerful way, rather than from a place of kind of overwhelm and maybe victimhood or helplessness. We can approach life from a place of power and confidence and courage with a lot of clarity. And so the questions I'm going to be sharing with you today, I'm actually going to share 5 power questions with you. They're designed to help you do that. And I also know you all have tools and tips and ideas that help you when you're feeling down, when you're feeling a little overwhelmed or stressed out or stuck. And so if you've got those questions, I want you to share those in the chat box. In the last bit of time today, I'm going to be reading those and shouting them out to the group, and potentially, hopefully, adding them to my own tool belt for great questions to help me kind of turn things around when I get into that kind of funk. So thanks again for joining me today. Appreciate you being here. Rosie, hey, Jen, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. And today, grab a notebook, a pen, whatever you'd like to take notes on, even if it's your phone, because I'm going to share with you 5 questions that work for me and they work for my clients that I work with. And these questions are lined up with our theme this month. So the theme in November for these Facebook Lives is to wake up, to boss up, to let go and let magic and miracles take place, right? So the waking up is just opening up to possibility, opening up to our power, opening up to how great things already are, really increasing our awareness about what we want, what our current reality is. And bossing up is actually picking it and going after it. It's taking a leadership role in your life. It's stepping into your leadership potential and co-creating your best life. And that leads to the third part, which is about letting go. It's about staying open to magic and miracles. The fact of the matter is, we cannot directly control the outcomes, but we can influence them. And that's what bossing up is about. It's owning what's in our circle of influence. It's owning what's in our control and then letting the outcomes take care of themselves. And sometimes those outcomes come immediately, and sometimes those outcomes come 6 months, 6 years down the road. And so we want to let go and let the magic happen. Sometimes the outcomes end up better than we ever expected them to be. So again, thanks for joining me today. Debbie, I'm late too, Debbie. So we were going to do our best here with our 5 power questions. Again, Debbie, please bring your questions today. I'm going to bring it back to you guys at the end. I want to engage you and hear what questions work for you when you're feeling stuck and you need to wake up to your power and your possibility, get clear about what you want, where you're at, and boss up. I want to hear from you on your questions as well. So these 5 questions I use time and time again with myself and with those that I work with. And the first question, it seems weird, but I'm just going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you why I consider it to be a power question. Okay? So the question is, what does my body feel and need right now? So what does my body feel and need right now? Write that question down. What does my body feel and need right now? And the reason this is one of the first questions I work with is because we're going to have a lot. There's this Vince Lombardi. He says, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. And so if you're tired, if you're not feeling well resourced, you're going to have a hard time bossing up to life. You're going to have a hard time showing up to life with courage and confidence. And also, we have a tendency that when we're kind of in that fight or flight, when we're feeling tired or overwhelmed, we don't think clearly either. We're more emotionally vulnerable and we're less confident. And so what we want to do before we even start to decide what to do next, it's to check in with our bodies and to assess, am I well resourced, right? So what is my body feeling? What's my body needing right now? You know, maybe I'm upset about something that just happened with a coworker, or I'm upset about something that happened with my spouse or with my boss, right? And feeling that way, if you're tired, you're going to look at it much differently than if you're well rested. Sometimes you just need to go take a nap. Sometimes you just need to go for a walk. Sometimes you need to take a couple deep breaths like I did when I joined after technology issues today. I check in with my body. What does my body need right now? I need some oxygen. Deep into my belly, back out through my nose. Maybe I need a glass of water. So if we really want to step up in our lives and create more awareness and clarity and confidence in our lives, we need to check in with our bodies first. We got to be well resourced. I always like to think of children when they are upset and they're crying and they're kicking and screaming. What's usually the first thing we assume is, do we look at them and think it's a character flaw? Do we look at them and think, what a little jerk? We often think to ourselves, they probably need a nap, Or does their diaper need to be changed? Or do they need something to eat or something to drink? And for some reason, when we become adults, we stop asking ourselves that question. Maybe you just need a nap. So if we want to wake up to what are the needs of our body, what are the needs of our mind, body, and soul right now, and ask ourselves the question, what does my body feel and need right now? That's one question I like to use to help me wake up so I can power up. Do you guys who are watching right now, do you guys check in with your body regularly? Do you already have a habit of doing that? If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, let me know in the chat box below. Do you already check in with your body as kind of a first line of action when you're feeling stressed out, overwhelmed, or worked up? Uh-oh, I see that we're freezing off and on. Still, darn it. Is that still happening? Let me know if it continues to freeze. I'm going to have to get a better system going for us here. So that first question, what does my body and my body feel and need right now? The second question I want you to write down that has been super, super helpful to me, and you've probably heard me talk about it before, is what do I want? What do I want? Oftentimes when I find myself in a funk, it's because I'm thinking about what I don't want. I'm mad because the traffic's bad. I'm mad because this little thing didn't go quite the way I wanted it to. I'm mad because that person did X, Y, and Z. I'm mad because the flight did X, Y, and Z. Like, I need to check in, and rather than focus on the things that are all wrong, I need to be focusing on what do I want. And that targeted thinking is going to help me be a better decision maker, and it's going to flip me kind of out of that blaming and complaining into more of the solution-oriented focus, right? So what do I want? Once I've checked in with my body, gone out in nature, took a nap, whatever it is, kind of got myself well-resourced, well-rested, then I ask myself, what do I want? What do I want? That's going to give me clarity and direction. One of the challenges I find with this particular question is that a lot of us were raised to believe that by wanting something, you were somehow greedy or needy or selfish. And that's something I'm working on. All three of those are things that I'm working on right now. And I've also come to believe that that nobody benefits from you not taking care of yourself or you not actually going after the things that you most desire in your lives. Nobody benefits from that. People benefit when you feel fully alive. People benefit when you're on target with what feels like your truth, the things that you enjoy doing, the types of food you like to eat that work well with your body. Like, you're just a better human. So we want to get in the habit, rather than seeing that question of what do I want as being selfish and greedy, it's actually a contribution to not only your well-being, but to the well-being of the lives of those around you and the bigger global kind of well-being of what do I want? What would I love to see happen here? If you're watching this video, I've mentioned this before, but if you're watching this video and you're my sphere of friends, you're a good person. Like, you're not going to be that greedy person. That little fear might be there in your head, but you're not that kind of person. What do you really want? Come with that open heart. Once you're well rested, you've taken care of your body, your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual well-being. Ask yourself, what do I want? When you come from an open heart like that, you're going to choose things that benefit not just you, but everybody around you. So what do I want is the second power question. I'll do a quick check-in here with the people in the group. Debbie mentions, I think meditation habit helps me check in with my body more often than a knee-jerk response. Such an important point, Debbie. One thing that in all the classes that I've taught over the years, hundreds of classes, teaching people about life skills, teaching people about leadership skills, none of those tools and methods work if we can't pause between stimulus and response. If we can't pause between stimulus and response, and the best training for increasing our ability to pause between stimulus and response and not have that knee-jerk reaction is absolutely meditation. It's almost like it's the very first thing we should be working on. Right after we get ourselves well rested, take care of our energy, make sure we're well resourced, and get your mind gym going, right? Get to the meditation thing, increasing your ability to focus your attention where you want, when you want, for how long you want through the practice of meditation, and being able to be the observer of the emotions that come up when we get triggered by others. It's impossible without meditation. And Rosie mentions, I try to, but what we do when things are out of control. Yeah, what do we do when things are out of control? Rosie, that's what, you know, that's such just the human condition, right, Rosie? That's why we're here supporting each other, is that it is so hard to do when things are out of control like that. Yeah. Rosie, your comment makes me think of Mark Devine. He's a Navy SEAL. And one of the things he talks about mentioning in his book is front side focus, which is that when everything out here is going crazy, the only thing we can do and the biggest responsibility we have is to focus on what's in our control. And that starts with making ourselves well resourced and then targeted thinking. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Thank you, Rosie, for hanging out. The third question. So we've got question 1, 2. We're going to get to 3 and 4 here and 5 really, really fast. And if you can stick around after the hour, that'd be fantastic since we got such a late start. So the third question to write down is, this is one of my favorites. Whenever I feel overwhelmed about the house, my finances, Christmas activities, my business, projects, you name it. What's the one thing I could do, such by doing it, everything else would be either easier or unnecessary? What's the one thing I could do, such by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? And one of the ways I get to the root of this one is I'll brainstorm a whole bunch of things I could do. And I'll look back over the list. And if I'm grounded and I'm thinking about what I do want, right? So I've touched base with my body. I'm well resourced. I've got my target out there. This is the direction I want to go with the Christmas holidays. This is the direction I want to go with my business. This is where I want to be in 30 days, 60, 90 days with my health and fitness. Even with my relationship goals or my career, right? This is my target. Now, all these possibilities I could do, and that can feel like a huge sense of overwhelm. So when I look back over it and I check in with myself and ask, what's the one thing I could do, such by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? Something always comes to the top. And that is the thing I need to boss up on. That's the thing that I need to move forward towards. Right? So first, am I well resourced? Second, what do I actually want? And third, what's my next baby step? What's the one thing I could do, such by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? It's fascinating to me that sometimes when I look at that list, there's actually something on there that makes like 5 things not even necessary. If I just go have this tough conversation, all this other stuff kind of takes care of itself. It's absolutely such a powerful, wild question. It comes from the book called The One Thing by Gary Keller, who built, the real estate industry Mongol that it is, based on that particular question. That is like the linchpin question. That's the high leverage question of what's the one thing I could do, such by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary. What do you think of that question? You like it? Give me a thumbs up if you like that question. And if you're having a hard time writing them down, you can actually get these 5 power questions in a PDF file at www.loribates.com/powerup. And you can get all 5 of these in a little PDF worksheet that what I like to do is just print it off and then I fill it in. When I'm having a rough time, a rough day, whatever, I'll use it that way. So that's question number 3. Now, the 4th question to help us wake up and power up so we can live and lead our most authentic, awesome, kick-ass lives is this one. For me to feel the way I want to feel and achieve the things that I want to achieve, what do I need to say no to? What do I need to say no to? For me to feel the way I want to feel, for me to achieve the things I want to achieve, what do I need to say no to? There's, I can't remember who said it, but it has really landed with me. When I think about potential obstacles between me and the ideal marriage I want, between me and the ideal business that I want, between me and whatever trip I want to take, there's often what happens, I think, sometimes is that it's such a fuzzy thing. I'm not sure how to do this thing on Facebook. I'm not sure how to do this particular project. It's kind of fuzzy. It's a long-term, 3-5 years. I'm not going to be able to create it overnight type vision, type goal, that I'll often get distracted by a clear path to a lesser goal. And those are the things I need to say no to. If this, opportunity that someone just presented to me doesn't help me build the business I want to build, or build the lifestyle I want to build, or help enhance the relationships and help me feel the way I want to feel so I can be the best version of me and contribute in a really meaningful way, then I need to say no to it if it doesn't help me go there. Now, it sounds kind of crazy when you think about like someone like Tom Brady, who's crystal clear about what he wanted in his career, and everything that he said yes to aligned with that. And that's that kind of front side focus, that narrow focus. But what that requires is us doing the work to better understand who we are, what we want, and what we're here to do. And then to be able to check in with these type of questions to decide what the next baby step is in the direction of our most authentic dreams and goals. So, for me to feel the way I want to feel and achieve the things that I want to achieve, what do I need to say no to? You only have 168 hours in a week. You're not going to be able to do everything. You're going to have to say no to some things. It's the distractions that often keep us from our most authentic dreams and goals. It's the distractions. So what do you need to say no to? So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one that I'm going to share with you today. There are lots of questions, which is why I want to check in with you guys. What are your favorite questions to help you get unstuck? Well, the fifth question I'm going to share with you today is, what could I do in this moment right now that would make me feel proud? What can I do in this moment right now that would make me feel proud? And this is a new one for me, and it has really changed just my whole demeanor, because I often am criticizing myself and I'm full of doubt. But if I flip the switch with this type of question, what can I do right now that would make me feel proud? Then I choose to do the workout. Then I choose to do the hard thing. I choose to do the meditation. I choose to call that person. I choose to, again, do the hard thing. If we're going to live and lead our most authentic, most awesome kick-ass life, it's not an easy thing to do. It takes courage. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes patience and persistence. So what can I do right now in this moment to make me feel proud? And when you flip the switch and you feel proud, you're going to show up so much different for your kids. You're going to show up. We're not talking about a self-righteousness kind of pride, right? That's not you. I already know that about you. But think of what kind of parent you are when you approach your child from that sense of confidence and pride. Think of what kind of a spouse you are when you approach life and engage in that relationship from a sense of pride. What kind of teacher are you? What kind of leader are you when you're coming from a place of pride? And you can actually tap into that emotion and that power instantaneously just by asking yourself that question. And then once you've created the awareness, you got to boss up. You got to go do it. You got to take action and do that one thing. And that, waking up to boss up, that's also how we build self-confidence and self-trust. Is that we've done the work to tap into the internal wisdom. You already have the answers. I can't answer those things for you. I can give you some good questions to prompt you to wake up to your authentic truth. And then the next step is to boss up, take action, close the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. So what could I do in this moment right now to make myself feel proud? Those are the 5 power questions. And I want to hear from you. Hang out for just a second if you still can. We had a late start today, so I'm going to stick around a little longer. But if you got a jet and you want those 5 questions, just go to www.loriMage.com/power up. There's going to be a little opt-in thing there, and you can get the PDF for it. with all 5 of those questions on it and space for you to write your answers into them. For those of you who are sticking around, I want to hear from you. What are your power questions? What are your power questions? What are the things that really help you get out of kind of that helplessness, that victimhood that can take place kind of in the rut, and back into your power zone, back into living and leading your most authentic, awesome, kick-ass life? Share them in the comments below. Also, if you've got, let's take a look if we got any there. Nothing coming in yet. So let me just check in here really quick. Well, maybe you're writing right now. So what questions do you use to help you wake up and boss up in your life? What questions do you use? And out of the 5 I just shared with you, I'm going to pause there for just a second. Debbie says, is this my own expectation or someone else's? Beautiful. Yeah. Is this my own expectation or someone else's? Yeah. That's a good one to wake up in order to boss up. Yeah. I've been also playing with one around, like, is this my role to play? Is this my responsibility, or is this someone else's task? Right? Is this someone else's responsibility? My responsibility is to show up to life and engage the life from my authentic truth with an open heart. My responsibility. Now, when I voice what I want and what I need from that space of that expansiveness, that open heart, standing in my truth, how the other person reacts and responds is up to them. That's not mine to own. I can only control me. How they react to how I show up is up to them. That is that separation of tasks, I think, that separation of responsibility, and can kind of play in a little bit with that question you had there too, Debbie. Out of the 5 questions I shared today, which one do you feel like would be most useful for you? Which one do you feel like would be most useful for you? I'll share with you again what they are. The first one was, what does my body feel and need right now? This is just checking in with our body, mind, and soul. Are we well resourced? As Vince Lombardi would say, fatigue leads to cowardness. The second question is, what do I want? The third question is, what's the one thing I could do such by doing it right now? Everything else would be easier or unnecessary. The fourth one is, for me to feel the way I want to feel and achieve the things I want to achieve, what do I need to say no to? And the fifth one, what could I do in this moment that would make me proud? Which of those 5 do you think would be most useful for you in your circumstances to help you wake up and boss up so you can feel a deeper sense of control and satisfaction in your life? Which of those 5 is your favorite? Go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Yeah, Debbie, is this an opportunity I want to take on as a responsibility? Yep, from last week. I love it. So good. What's your favorite of the 5 do you think would be most useful for you? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Which one for you? And I'm going to put the link in there too, so you can grab these 5 questions. Anybody that might be watching on the replay too. Again, that's www.lorimage.com, power up. And there's a little opt-in thing there, and you can grab the PDF. It's just a real simple PDF, but it's got space in there for you to be able to jot your answers down. And you may have noticed that the way those questions are even framed kind of falls in line with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We're checking in with the body first, making sure we're well resourced. We're not going to make good decisions. We're not going to show up powerfully if we're tired. And then we get that targeted thinking, okay, once I'm reset, what do I actually want in my marriage? What do I actually want from this discussion? What's the ideal outcome here? That target, that's the next thing. Third thing is then, what's the next baby step? What's the one thing I could do such by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? wow, it's give my spouse a hug. That might be the best thing to do. Or it's take a break. Hey, I'm going to come back to this conversation with you in 24 hours or in 2 hours or in 10 minutes. But right now, I need a break. I need to go take a walk. That might be helpful too. Debbie says for her, it's a tie between number 3 and number 4. I'm so good at distracting myself with other to-dos. Me too, Debbie. Me too. It's so easy. And I get addicted a little bit to the busyness. To feel like I'm worthy, I guess. I don't know. I use it as a distraction. And it's that clear path to a lesser goal. It's like, oh, this would be easy to knock off. And I get that, get to check the box, get a little dopamine hit. And even worse, the people appreciate it. So then they're thanking me. Now I get some more endorphins and serotonin going through my body and oxytocin because someone else was feeling grateful for what I just did for them. And then what happened to my goals? What happened to my vision? What happened to my dreams? Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you guys, we went 10 after. Thank you so much for being so tenacious today and sticking around. We had a rough start there with the technology. I ended up having to reboot the computer to get it going. Then the video froze. So Rosie, Jennifer, Debbie, thank you for joining me live today. For those of you watching the replay, thank you for hanging in there as we navigated this today too. Any comments you leave, I will be responding to those over the next 7 days and engaging with you in the comments there. Be sure to join me every Thursday if you like stuff like this, you want to engage in the conversation, you want some ideas and tools and tips to help you live and lead your most authentic, awesome, kick-ass life. Mark your calendar, 12:30 to 1 p.m. every Thursday. We are going to be doing a special at the end of the month because we will not be going live on Thanksgiving Day. We'll actually be going live on Friday after Thanksgiving Day, and we'll do a whole hour. It's going to be from 11 to noon on 5 power habits, five habits to help us boss up. So I'll be sharing those on Friday. And again, thank you so much for being here today. It brings me so much joy to be able to share these ideas with you and learn from you too with your ideas around meditation and the questions you're using and some of the challenges you're facing. I just pray for you and good blessings in your life. And thank you again for joining me today. If you got value today, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. That's going to help these videos get shared. And once again, thank you. Have a fantastic day. Happy Veterans Day. See you guys.